Good morning and welcome on this beautiful Sunday, snowy Sunday morning. It's a joy to be with you. My name is Eileen Wiviat. I am your newly called settled senior minister. Whether the Unitarian Church of Evanston is your spiritual home or you are seeking comfort and connection in these uncertain times, we are grateful that you are with us. We are an inclusive and welcoming community, seeking truth and love and striving to nurture the human spirit for a world made whole. We are guided by our principles and values, which remind us in every moment and through every challenge that each of us has worth and dignity, and that we are all connected through the vast and beautiful web of existence. Together, let us remember our oneness, our kinship with one another, and may we hold one another in heart and mind with tenderness and careful attention. There are many links of connection in the comments section below, including credits for the readings, to virtual religious education, for donations, and to be added to our email newsletter list. If you are just discovering our community, we hope that you will fill out our guest form so that we can keep in touch with you. A few announcements. The All Church Zoom meeting continues on Wednesday evenings at 5:30. Look for the email in the early afternoon on Wednesday with the link. All are encouraged to join us. Immediately following that, this coming Wednesday from 6:30 to 7, Dr. Ezike of the Illinois Department of Public Health will be holding a virtual town hall with information about the vaccine in Illinois. Information is in the newsletter and on Facebook. This is open to everyone in our community. And we'll hold virtual coffee and conversation after this service until about 1 p.m. on Zoom. You can find the link in the comments below or from the newsletter. Again, all are welcome. Mystery Match is coming. Join this fun multi-generational program inviting adults in our congregation to connect with young people through cards and letters. During the week of February 6th through 13th, adults will send a card to their mystery match with some clues to their identity. And then after the worship service on February 14th, we will have a Meet Your Match virtual celebration where young people will guess who their match is and they'll meet each other. So look for the sign up in the newsletter or email Kathy Underwood by Wednesday if you want to take part in this fun activity. Before our service begins, I want to introduce you to our guest worship leader, Leah Morris. One of the blessings of this strange and difficult time is that we have become more connected across distances to creative and brilliant people benefiting from their music and message. One of my favorite discoveries of this past year has been Leah's voice, not just the sound of her beautiful voice, but the wisdom that she shares through her voice. I'm so pleased to introduce you to her today. She comes from a musical family, her father a trumpet player in a funk band, and her mother a gospel singer dreaming of opera. And Leah herself grew up singing in the Baptist churches that she was raised in. Her message is deeply inspiring and aligned with Unitarian Universalist values of human dignity and capacity to love and cooperate and co-create a world of greater liberation and justice. This is something I didn't know also, is that she has worked closely with Howard Levy, who has been a friend and a special guest of UCE as well. So please help me welcome Leah from wherever you are. Clap your hands, woo, 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 do your little dancing fingers. We're so pleased that Leah's here with us.
Thank you.
And now I invite you to get your chalices ready, set a place for yourself and your family as we join in beloved community. Our opening reading this morning is by Kendyl Gibbons, UU minister of All Souls UU Church in Kansas City. If all you can do is light a candle, tell a story, or keep a promise, just this day, one more day, every day. Keep us strong in the struggle, bearing witness, seeking freedom, creating justice. Find a way, build a way, make some way. This we pray, humbly pray, urgently pray. Clouds of witness surrounding us, honored prophets, faithful workers, daring leaders, speak the truth, heal the world, light the dawn. And we journey together in the struggle, making connection, find forgiveness through the work, through the pain, moving on. We must build for the future peace and plenty. Truth and justice, hope and freedom, not oppress, not destroy. Righteousness shines like a golden city, a mighty river, bringing hope, bringing peace, bringing forth joy. In the memory of sacrifice and enduring hope, liberation, in the dignity and worth of every soul, our salvation, in the power of love and the human spirit, transformation, we can change the world. Welcome to worship.
We light this chalice in northern Illinois on the traditional homelands of the Council of the Three Fires, the Odawa, Ojibwa, and Potawatomi nations. Many other tribes, such as the Miami, Menominee, Ho-Chunk, Sauk, and Fox, also call this area home. We name these in honor and respect. Please join in saying these words, adapted from Natalie Fenimore, the Minister for Lifespan Religious Education at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation at Shelter Rock in New York.
Spirit of life, you are for us as the ground is for seed, warm and nurturing. You are our sacred birthplace. In you we sprout, take root, and grow. Like growing seeds, may we live into our radiance, our possibilities, our imaginings, and our love.
Please join us in saying the words of our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
have a question for you. This is a very important question. So when I was younger, they would tell us to put on our thinking caps. How do you make an apple? I know you probably know that you can't make an apple, but my 4-year-old daughter Lucia asked me that question very recently, and it was a great opportunity to talk to her about how we grow the things that we want to see, either on our plate or in the world. So how do you grow an apple? You probably know, if you've ever been in a garden or visited a garden or had your fingers in the dirt or planted a seed, that the way to grow an apple is to place it in fertile ground, in dirt that can fill it with nutrients and keep it warm until it's ready to sprout into a tiny little plant. And that it'll need sunshine, and it'll need rain, and it'll need your care. It will need you to take away those plants that you don't want to grow around it. We often call them weeds, but they're just other plants. And you want to make space for your apple tree to grow. And you have to have patience. You have to be able to wait and 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 wait. And eventually, after quite some time, you will have a beautiful apple tree that can bear you apples, that will have seeds for more apple trees. It's kind of amazing the way our planet works. And the interesting thing about that is that same process is how we bring anything into the world. I'll tell you what I mean. So if you plant a tomato seed, will an apple tree grow? Pretty much never. That's never happened in the history of the earth. If you plant a tomato seed, you get a tomato. If you plant an apple tree, well, you get a tomato plant. Or you have the potential to. You might, if everything goes well. And if you plant apple seed, then you have the potential or the possibility of seeing an apple tree grow. And the same thing applies to our imaginations, to our thoughts. Because the thoughts that we think, the things that we imagine could be possible, those, when we water them and when we make sure they have plenty of sun and we take away those thoughts that we don't feel so great about, and when we make sure those ideas are planted in the fertile ground of our hearts, of our minds, and when we plant them in places where we can share them with our communities, then they have the potential to turn into what we experience in the world. Like Zoom, this whole application that makes it possible for me to talk to you from so far away was just an idea in someone's mind once. And I'm sure they had to pull away a lot of weed thoughts. They're like, well, that's not possible. And how do you do that? And continue to wait and wait and maybe work and calculate and try and maybe feel like they failed sometimes and wait and wait and wait and wait. And eventually it became a real thing that you and I can share because someone had that imagination seed that they planted in their garden of their mind and that they tended and brought into reality. And the same thing applies for wonderful dreams like the idea of you and I being friends, no matter how we look, no matter what we believe in or who we love or where we come from or what language we speak, you and I can be friends. If we choose to, if that's the seed we plant. And we can take care of each other, and we can take care of strangers. The ideas, the possibilities for us are only limited by our ability to imagine. And the beautiful thing is you never, ever, ever run out of seeds to plant in your imagination. Just make sure that you plant the kind of seeds that you want to see grow in the world. So this is a song that I would love for you to sing with me. I'll sing a line and then you'll sing it back to me. It's called a call and response. And we'll do it twice just to practice. And then I'll add some rhythm. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Who can I be Who can
Who
I
can I be?
What can I see?
What can I see
Great, thanks. In this great world,
in this great world?
who could be free?
Who could be free?
What will I build?
What will I build?
And what will I find?
What will I find?
My story begins
My story begins
inside my mind.
inside my mind.
Beautiful, Eileen. Who can I be?
Who can I be?
And what can I see?
And what can I see
In this great world,
in this great world?
who could be free?
Who could be free?
What will I build?
What will I build?
And what will I find?
And what will I find?
My story begins
My story begins
inside my mind.
inside my mind.
All right, are you ready for that rhythm? Here we go. Who can I be?
Who can I be?
What can I see?
What can I see
In this great world,
in this great world?
who could be free?
Who could be free?
What will I build?
What will I build?
And what will I find?
And what will I find?
My story begins
My story begins
inside my mind,
inside my mind,
in my imagination.
in my imagination. That was fun. I hope you had fun. Thank you, Leah. That was a beautiful message and lots of fun. These are the joys and sorrows that have been submitted through the Google form found on our homepage of our website. You can always send me an email as well, or to Reverend Susan if you have something to share on Sunday mornings. This is from Harry Hirsch. Judith Ramey celebrated her birthday Thursday. Happy birthday, Judith. And this Tuesday, we are scheduled for our COVID vaccinations. That's exciting and good news. And Martha Holman wrote this morning. My niece Jeanette died suddenly Friday night at the age of 39. Please hold our family in your thoughts and prayers. Martha, we will hold all of you in our thoughts and prayers at this very sad and difficult time. We know that these are not the only joys or the sorrows that are on our hearts today, that are carried all around the world. And so we take a moment of quiet now to read to ourselves some of the things that are on our minds and hearts that are entered into the chat this morning. And we hold these together in care and tenderness. And if you are so moved, I invite you to say the words, say the names of those who you are carrying on your hearts, those who are lonely or afraid or lost or who have died or who are ill. Name those people who are important to you and let them be carried on the winds and held in this community that knows no walls. We hold these as well as the joys and sorrows that remain unspoken. Together, we expand our celebrations and we lessen the burden of our grief. I invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer and meditation. This prayer is written by Reverend Alicia Ford, who serves with the Unitarian Universalist Association as the director of the International Office. When we pause to remember who we are, companions on this grand experiment called life, when we take a moment to shed the ways we have been carefully taught, to lead from fear, to punish the poor, to persuade those who don't look like we do, to deny rights to those who love, to believe that we are separate, that some people are superior to others. When we take a moment to shed all of that and hear our stories, hear and see each other into existence, into community, when we take a moment to embrace, to practice a different way of being, when we answer the call of love, then we are living into the promise of building the world we dream about. It is beautiful to dream, to cast a vision, to stretch our minds into the future and imagine what may be if we were to build a new way of being, not someday, but beginning again today, beginning again every day that we have breath, taking courage with these hands and hearts to make real the dream of a more equitable world, to journey together, seeking to be transformed even as we transform, becoming explorers and learners in the world around us, humbled by what we do not yet know, fulfilling the promise of healing a fragmented world, laboring not just in hope, but also in love. In this spirit, we commit. In this spirit, we gather. In this spirit, we pray. Amen.
Peace be with me, peace before me, peace to the right of me, peace behind me, peace to the left of me, peace above me, peace below me, peace within. Peace be with you, peace before you, peace to the right of you, peace behind you, peace to the left of you, peace above you, peace below you, peace within. Peace be with us, peace before us, peace to the right of us, peace behind us, peace to the left of us, peace above us, peace below us, peace within. Peace be with us, peace before us, peace to the right of us, peace behind us, peace to the left of us, peace above us, peace below us, peace within, peace within, peace within, peace within.
Beautiful. UCE remains a vital part of the world and our community. And because we continue to need one another and the blessings of community, we take this time to invite you to give to our shared plate. Today's offering will be shared with Deborah's Place, a community partner that we have long been in support and relationship with, and who we know of through our member Jean Durkin, who's celebrating her birthday today. So happy birthday, Jean. Deborah's Place has been opening doors of opportunity and helping women that are experiencing homelessness in Chicago since 1985. They do amazing work, and I hope that you'll give as generously as you are able. You can text to give, send in a check, or give from our website. And if you do send in a check, please indicate in the memo line if your check is for the shared offering, for your pledge, or capital campaign, or some other giving. Thank you in advance for your generosity, and may what you give bring you joy.
At the start of any given day, there is mystery available. There is a game waiting for an open heart to say yes. Here I am, I'll play. And if we're smart, we'll listen to the way, and all the misery that held us down, we'll let it fade. Let it be outshined by a simple spark of a life that's waiting to be made. It's waiting to be made. What will you make of this day? What will you keep? What will you change? What will you see? What will you believe? What will you make of your dreams? Will you keep sleeping, or will you awaken and decide what you will make? At the start of any given day, there is history and poetry. There is a play, but you're not in the audience. You are the star. So get out there and say what you will make. What will you make of this day? What will you keep? What will you change? What will you see? What will you believe? What will you make of your dreams? Will you keep sleeping, or will you awaken and decide just what you will make of this day? What will you keep? What will you change? What will you see? And what will you believe? What will you make of your dreams? Will you keep sleeping, or will you awaken and decide what you will make? So I have to ask, what will you make of this day? What did you make of January 1st, 2021? When the day arrived, or maybe a day before or a day ahead of that, did you make any resolutions? Did you sit down and, I don't know, decide to gain 15 pounds or eat more vegetables or, whatever kind of resolutions fit in your life plan? Did you this year? I will speak for myself, since we're not in direct conversation, but I know you're answering that question in your mind. For me this year, when 2021 became imminent, for the first time in my life, I did not make any resolutions for the new year. Probably like a lot of you, I was just really happy to have survived the preceding year, because in addition to all of the collective weird that we experienced, my family and I personally, we had our own just unprecedented challenges. It was like 2020, the year that just keeps giving. That was sort of our our catchphrase in the house. It just kept giving us opportunities to decide what we would make of the situation. So what I did on January 1st, 2021, rather than make a resolution, as I've often done in the past, rather than make a vision board, as I've done a few times, or participate the night before in a burning bowl ceremony, which I know is pretty common, I didn't do any of those things for the first time. The way I commemorated the change of the year was taking inventory of what really worked for me last year and all that challenge, and then deciding that I would keep doing that and grab hold of one other idea, just one more seed thought that I wanted to plant into my experience for 2021, whether this year turns out to be as momentous and unpredictable as the last year or not. And so far, I'm doing pretty well. And I'll talk a little bit more about what my choices were. But the way I'd like this time together to go is I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience and my choices and my seed thoughts, and invite you, as I present a song, to think about the answers to those questions yourself. Because now, right now, more than ever, we have the opportunity, the privilege, and the great responsibility to be really intentional about what we plant in our inner gardens, so that our thoughts, our words, our actions can result in more of what we truly want to see in the world. On some level, I feel like in 2020, everything got thrown into the air. And now we have an opportunity to decide, to some extent, where it lands, or some of it, right? We certainly have the responsibility to decide how we respond in any situation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick apart these intentions that I've set, and in concentric circles, kind of like an onion, if you're a Shrek fan, or if you're just an Onion fan. So my first perspective is of myself personally. In the year that preceded this one, I practiced like I've never practiced before, the art of being okay in any situation. More specifically, choosing what my response to a situation would be. That doesn't mean I never grieved. It doesn't mean I never hurt, and that sometimes it wasn't really, really difficult. But consistently, I showed up to the practice of deciding how I would respond. And every time I did it, I got a little better for the next time. And that is a skill that I intend to take forward with me into this year and forever. And what I decided at the beginning of this month that I would also do is give more honor to my intuition, to listen more to my natural impulses, those that come from love, those that guide me towards connection and come from a knowledge of unity. And so far, it's been 31 days. So far, I'm doing pretty well. I'm going to keep working on it. It's a practice like any other. So how about you in your personal life? What is something that you feel that you did really well, or that worked for you, or has helped you to get to this moment in the last year? And what is something that you would like to cultivate more of in your life moving forward? Think about that while I sing this song. It's one by Daniel Namod. Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. Once I decide to change my mind, love will show me how. right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to walk across that bridge. Love is my decision, 'cause no one else can make me forgive. Once I decide to change my mind, love will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, love will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. It's my decision right here and now. So maybe some of you are also Marvel fans like I am and like my family is. And you're familiar with the term, we are Groot. So if we think of ourselves, again, in concentric circles, we think of our personal experience and then extend that out to our most intimate relationships. I live with 3 other people. I lived with 5 of us. There were 5 of us. So 4 other people in my household at the beginning of 2020. And there was not a lot of contention, but there were places in our relationships that needed healing, without question. There was judgment. I have a 21-year-old daughter and a 43-year-old spouse and an 11-year-old son and a 4-year-old daughter. And I would say that between me and my 21-year-old, there was just a lot of judgment. There was a lot of me, I can speak for myself, looking at her and saying she needed to change this, that, and the other thing about herself, and then she'd be better. And then she would be, I could say that she'd be more like me, but the truth is she'd not be making the same mistakes that I had judged myself for. And one of the gifts of 2020 was, like I said, we went through a collective trauma, and it immediately drew us closer and immediately made us more appreciative of one another. And so one of the great gifts of last year was just really being able to appreciate those people who are closest to me, even when sometimes they drive me a little batty. And appreciating them not because they are exactly the way I want them to be, but appreciating them because they are their own wacky selves and that they make space for me to be my own wacky self. And I want you to think about the intimate relationships in your life, the people, the animals, the plants, the places that are most meaningful to you, and how you've cherished them in the last year, and how you will continue to cherish them and care for them as they care for you in the coming year. Just as you are without changing a thing, just as you are, I accept you. I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in just as you are, just as you are, just as you are without changing a thing, Just as you are, I accept you. I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in just as you are, just as you are, just as you are without changing a thing. Just as you are, I accept you. I see you, I hear you, I welcome you in just as you are, just as you are. And that's no small task. It also takes practice. It takes planting that seed of an idea that I can be in a healthy relationship with someone. I don't always have to be right. I don't always have to be in control. What I want here is harmony and peace between us, and setting that intention. Imagining that it's possible to heal relationships that really need us to come at them from a different direction, because now more than ever, we have to be intentional about healing our most personal relationships so that we can heal and be in healing connection with the rest of our community. And that's the next group, the next concentric circle I want to think about, from myself to my intimate connections to my larger community. In the last year, I've been so fortunate to share with groups like yours, to come into connection with people who I might not otherwise have gotten a chance to connect with, to be with, to make music with. You saw my beautiful friends, Brian and Rachel and Kristen, to continue to foster those relationships that were meaningful to me before the pandemic struck, those people who I felt connected with before, but then to also expand my concept of what community is, and to remember that I have the potential to be in community with anybody I'm willing to open my heart with. So while I share this next song, I want you to think about your church. Think about UU Evanston and what you've done really well in 2020 to remain cohesive, what it took to pull together your services, how you've taken care of one another, how you've taken care of others in your community. And cultivate also images of what can you do new in 2021? What's available? This is a brand new video. No one else in the world has seen this but me. But I put it together because I know that many people are thinking in terms of beloved community. Many in the UU community are thinking of beloved community in February. And the Unitarian Universalist community has been so supportive and welcoming and loving to me in this time. And I wanted to create a song that just lifts you guys up specifically. So here goes the world premiere of Together. Together we stand with our voices lifted. Together we sing as one choir. Together we stand with our hearts united, our flames ignited, our lives bright to inspire. We can always stand when we sing together. We can always stand up strong. When we join our hands, we can vision higher, ignite a fire that burns bright to inspire. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. Our love is bright to inspire. Come, won't you come and sing with us? Won't you come and sing with us? Won't you come here? Love is bright to inspire. Together we can all stand, come voices together. We can always stand. try to inspire. And as we think about our communities belonging to the greater community of our nation, of the United States, and our nation being a community that belongs to the greater community of our globe, of our world, of our earth, of our planet, our home, our collective home, our shared home, we recognize that now is the time, more than any other time, for us to see ourselves as a collective, as a family, as having one destination, one goal. We're riding on this planet together, and we can think of it as a bus. If we can think of it, use that metaphor that we're all on this bus together. And the highest call that we have is to be able to listen to one another with love, with compassion, to honor the many truths, and to find a way to move this bus in a direction that is of most benefit to all of us. It's work. It takes practice. We've got to show up with the idea that it's possible. We've got to plant that in the fertile ground of our hearts. And we have to let that be what guides us forward. That knowledge that it is possible to create a world that works for all of us. And so I have a song that honors the collective work of the United States, and a song that honors the collective work of the entire species. I'm going to play the song for our American family, and I'm going to let that be the last that I share in this musical message. I just want you to remember that now, more than ever, we've got work to do. And the first step of the work is to decide what we're going to create. Because now is the only time that actually exists. We can carry forward what we feel like we've done best in the previous nows. Let go of those things that we know aren't serving us anymore. And we can plan to cultivate what we want to see more of in the coming nows. But this moment is all we've got. So please be sure that what you're planting in this moment, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this now too, is something that you want to see more of in the world. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share with you. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you, Adam, for your warm welcome. Thank you all for spending this time with me. This is a song by Jimmy Hammer and Dave Kinoin.
When I wake up in America, I see my neighbors there with every type of clothes and shoes, hats and skin and hair, every fine belief and custom. Scores of songs from who knows where. When I wake up in America, our stories fill the air. Wake up, despierta. Wake up, despierta. Wake up in America. The light in the harbor shines for us all. When I wake up, I see the kids playing happily swaying. It's good to be staying in a place like this, with a face like this. when I wake up in America. I put away my fear, and I love my neighbor as myself. And I say, I'm glad that you're here. We have found ourselves together in a land we dream could be. When we wake up in America, everybody will be free. Wake up,
Despierta,
wake up,
despierta.
wake up, please, America. The light in the harbor shines for us all. When I wake up, when you wake up, when we wake up in America.
As we extinguish the chalice, please join us in saying these words. Though the flame is extinguished, we carry with us the warmth of community, the light of truth, and the fire of commitment until we are together again.
The melody to this song of peace is a familiar one by John Sibelius, and the lyrics were adapted by Lloyd Stone. This is my song for beings of all nations, a song of peace for lands afar and mine. This is my home, the planet where my heart is. These are my hopes, my dreams, my holy shrines. But other hearts in other lands are beating with hopes and dreams as true and high as mine. My country's skies are bluer than the ocean, and sunlight beams on clover leaf and pine. But other lands have sunlight too, and clover, and skies are everywhere as blue as mine. This is my song for beings of all nations, a song of peace for your land and mine.
My heart is so full of joy and inspiration and gratitude, Leah, for being with us this morning. You have just lifted my heart and inspired my mind, and my body feels a buzz with joy. Thank you so much. Friends, thank you. And let us take this inspiration, this message that Leah has shared with us, and let's move out into the world, cultivating, planting those seeds of peace and joy and love and hope and possibility, and tending them and co-creating the world that we know is possible and that we are responsible for helping to come alive. Amen. Go in peace and blessed be. Goodbye, everyone.